Hi, welcome to my little corner of the internet, which is a different corner today. I shall explain in a second. My name is Anna. I am a makeup artist from Manchester. If you are new, please like and subscribe. Would be lovely. I'd love to have you back. Comment, do all that stuff. You know the drill. I'm sure this is not the first YouTube video you've ever watched. If you're not new, welcome back. It's, as always, lovely to have you here. So a few years ago, it's probably a couple of years ago now, I posted a look where I it's a picture of myself where I kind of did a Adele inspired look. I will insert it now. And since I started doing makeup professionally, I get requested that look probably more than any other look combined. A nice classic look. I understand why people like it. However, it's quite tricky to do that kind of look when you have hooded eyelids. If you have seen any of my videos before, you know I have hooded eyelids. If you don't know what hooded eyelids is when this bit here kind of folds over. So when I open my eyes, you see you can't really see much of my eye anymore. So it does make it quite tricky to do a winged liner. You end up doing usually the kind of bat wing shape. So if it looks good when you have your eye open, it looks a bit odd when you have your eyes closed. If it looks good when you have your eyes closed, when you open and your eye completely disappears, or your eye makeup completely disappears. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to recreate it, but I'm kind of doing it in a way that is a little bit more suited for a hooded eye. It shows up with my eyes open and it still looks good with my eyes closed. So this is what we're doing. I am filming this intro 3 hours after I actually did the makeup because it is my husband's 50th birthday today. So I have been out for lunch with him. Also, if you have seen my videos before, I'm currently sitting in my bedroom because it's really noisy downstairs because he's decided to work from home. So I'm just recording the intro and outro in here, and then the main video I did film in my makeup room, so that will be back to the usual. If you'd like to see how I did this look, please keep on watching. It's voiceover time. I am just applying some skincare to my very, very thirsty skin. For once, I have got my eyebrows done already. I usually do them last, but I wanted them to be a little bit more, not completely carved, but just a little bit more structured than how I usually wear them. So it just made it easier to do them first. And as you can see now, I'm just tidying up underneath with a eye base that I'm then blending downwards. I've not put it on my whole eyelid because I am using here the Made by Mitchell Blursh in Hollo there. So this is kind of a cool, neutral to cool toned shade that I'm using as an eye base to kind of just map out where I'm going to put my eyeshadow. I'm going right up to the nose because we will then blend that in with our contour. And then just using a small blending brush to just smudge out any edges. Using the Beauty Bay Neutrals palette, I'm starting with the shade Tender, a cool/neutral brown. Keeping my eye open, just going over where I placed that base to make sure I can see it when my eyes are open. With a small blending brush, I then use the shade Dusk, which is a lighter cool/neutral, just blending the upper edge up towards the eyebrow, but leaving that little bit of space at the top. I then repeated the two steps, so in with the slightly darker one first on a firm brush, and then blending with the slightly lighter shade. You might
want to go in and do this a couple of times just until you're happy with that blend. Using a light eye base, this is a P. Louise, which happened to be lying there. I think it's the 0.5. I didn't want a bright white because we're not going that kind of extreme. So this is kind of a light nude. Again, as you can see, keeping that eye open. So even when I have my eyes open, I can still see that little cut crease. Doesn't have to be super neat. It needs to be still quite natural. Then going back in with Tender, just to blend that out, and then setting that crease with the shade Twig, which is sort of a bone shade. And then we blend the outer corner so we don't have a sharp line. Already starting to wing that shape a little bit. And then I'm using a like an eyeshadow stick. You could use a cream liner for this as well. This is a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow stick. As you can see, still keeping that eye open so I can get the right shape with my eye open. Just doing quite a soft wing. We're gonna blend this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just getting the angle, and we're starting to place that. Looking in different mirrors from different angles, just so I can see that I'm getting the shape similar and that it looks all right. And then going in with a pencil brush and just blending with, I think this is the shade Leather, which is a darker brown. And then a slightly softer pencil brush with that shade Tender, just to blend that as well. And then I'm using a black pencil liner as well, because I don't want the kind of sharp, crisp line of a gel or liquid liner. I want quite a smudgy black here, all the way into the inner corner. And again, checking it from different angles, just to make sure we've got it nice and even. And then on a small Eco Tools brush, I'm going in with the shade Jet from the palette, which is a black. And we're smudging especially the outer corner. We're just smudging that black into the dark brown. And then on the inner corner, I've got more of a sharper sort of eyeliner brush, and I'm just patting the shade onto the pencil just to set it. So we're smudging the outer corner, but the inner corner we just want to set that eyeliner. I don't want that smudged out. And then back in with all the browns. It does require a little bit of blending, but it's kind of worth just making that a little bit of an effort with the blending. And then I'm just using a clean brush right at the top, making sure there's no edges. And then going in with that bone shade called Twig right under my brow bone. I'm not highlighting this look. I'm keeping it completely matte. So I'm using this as a sort of highlighter. I covered my face with the mirror when I put the glue on this one. So I put the glue on the lash line rather than on the lash. And I'm just using a little accent lash, so just in the outer corner. It kind of covers the outer third of my eye. Just to again accentuate that sort of winged shape. And we're about to have a bit of a sudden jump because the cat knocked the camera over. And then as I put it back, I managed to stop recording. So all you missed was me putting some mascara on and wiping the fallout underneath. So we're popping some primer on. And then going in with a foundation. Quite a light coverage. It's the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. So it's kind of a light to medium coverage. Using the HF Cosmetics brush as always, because it's my favorite. I love this shade match. It's probably the best shade match I've got in terms of foundation. And then the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. Love this concealer. Again, accentuating that wing shape and then just covering up where I just need a little bit of coverage. And then again, HF Cosmetics brush, just blending that beautiful concealer, being quite careful on that sort of bottom line of the eye, because we do want that a little bit sharper. Lightly setting the under eye. I use a minimal amount of powder because my under eyes crease really badly if I set them too much and they end up looking really cakey, but I do need to set them because they crease if I don't set them as well. And then just the rest of my face where I get oily with just a little bit of setting powder. And then using that same shade of blush, so the Hollo there, and it doesn't matter here if we go into the eye kind of contour because they will meet in that inner corner. So that part of the eye is more contouring than eyeshadow, if that makes sense. Just contouring as I normally do, and then going in with a small angled brush, and as you can see we are going right into that nose and we'll blend into the eyeshadow on that inner corner. As always with my looks, we trust the process. They do look mildly insane until we come right to the end. And then just tidy it up with the concealer on, well, with the concealer brush. And then going in with my regular contour brushes just to blend that contour on down the cheeks. As always, I do blend my jaw a little bit uneven because I have an asymmetrical jaw. And then using the shade Shady Business to just bronze that up so we're not too cool toned. And just blend that out. It blends so beautifully. A little bit down the neck just so we look fresh. I'm always looking at myself from sort of different angles. So I'll look in the mirror, I look in the monitor, I hold the mirror out and in just to make sure it looks good from all different angles. And then using the face palette that I'm using the mirror from. So it's the Beauty Bay face palette, going in with the bronzer. And then the peachy kind of blush. So it's the lighter blush shade. As you may know by now, I don't like too much blush on me. And then just lightly setting this with a tiny bit of powder, only because this foundation is a bugger for creasing on me. And for my lip, I'm just going in with a nude, so my W7 lip liner, which is my fave. It's just such a nice nude. And then, because I'm me, I managed to cover my face with the mirror the whole time I put the lipstick on. But it is my Beauty Bay nude lipstick, keeping it matte again. And then we're just trying to act natural and pose a little bit, because this is the finished look.
So here's the finished look. This is actually a few hours after we have been out for lunch. And it's holding up quite well. I'm actually really impressed with the base, because this base has been notorious for just melting off my face, but I think I found the right combination of skincare and primer now. Still got that same shape that we want, but this is just a little bit more suitable for hooded eyes. It just makes it a little bit easier. It's quite a wearable look. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting. Commenting is really great. Let me know what you'd like to see next, as always. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much. Bye!